Brethren, please be upstanding to receive your worshipful master.
To open the lodge.
Freemasons from all over Yorkshire gather at provincial headquarters for a special occasion. The cameras are present to see Freemasons in action and to hear their views on Freemasonry.
Hi, Steve. Hi. Hiya. How are you? Fine, thank you. All right.
For more than half a century, Freemasons have preferred to avoid publicity. Now, though, they're prepared to allow a wider public to share their thoughts about the historic organisation to which they belong.
Certainly with the media today, we've got to be open. What we want to do is dispel all these myths about Freemasonry. If we said today, no comment, people would say, well, there's something to hide. And the only thing the Mason will not disclose are the modes of recognition.
Freemasons trace their origins and their ceremonies back to the medieval stonemasons who built our great cathedrals.
We like to think that we have something to offer where our brethren can meet and enjoy their fellowship together in Freemasonry, and the teachings that we have are ones of morality, and hopefully those teachings will enable us to lead a better life. There is a meaning behind everything that we do.
So why does a new Mason have one trouser leg rolled up?
Why? One of the questions that we ask a candidate is, are you a free man? In the old days, if he'd been manacled, we would have known he wasn't a free man.
For Freemasons, the central part of the ceremony for the making of a new Mason is the charge. A senior Mason recites from memory the ideals and rules by which the new brother will be expected to live.
No institution can boast a more solid foundation than that on which Freemasonry rests, the practice of every moral and social virtue. And to so high an eminence has its credit been advanced, that in every age, monarchs themselves have been promoters of the art, have not thought it derogatory to their dignity to exchange the sceptre for the trowel, and have patronised and joined in our assemblies. As a Freemason, let me recommend to your most serious contemplation the volume of the Sacred Law, charging you to consider it as the unerring standard of truth and justice, and to regulate your actions by the divine precepts it contains. Therein, you be taught the important duties you owe to God, to your neighbour, and to yourself. To God, by never mentioning his name, but with that awe and reverence which are due from the creature to his creator. By imploring his aid in all your lawful undertakings, and by looking up to him in every emergency for comfort and support. To your neighbour, by acting with him on the square, by rendering every kind office which justice or mercy may require, by relieving his necessities and soothing his afflictions, and by doing to him as in similar cases you would wish he would do to you. And to yourself, by such a prudent and well-regulated course of discipline as may best conduce to the preservation of your corporeal and mental faculties in their fullest energy, thereby enabling you to exert those talents wherewith God has blessed you, as well to his glory as the welfare of your fellow creatures. As a citizen of the world, I am to enjoin you to be exemplary in the discharge of your civil duties, by never proposing or at all countenancing any act that may have a tendency to subvert the peace and good order of society, by paying due obedience to the laws of any state, which may for a time become the place of your residence, or afford you its protection, and above all, by never losing sight of the allegiance due to the sovereign of your native land, ever remembering that nature has implanted in your breast a sacred and indissoluble attachment toward that country which you derived your birth and infant nurture. As an individual, let me recommend the practice of every domestic as well as public virtue. Let prudence direct you, temperance chasten you, fortitude support you, and justice be the guide of all your actions. And be especially careful to maintain in their fullest splendour those truly Masonic ornaments which have already been amply illustrated: benevolence and charity. Let me exhort you to dedicate yourself to such pursuits that may at once enable you to be respectable in life, useful to mankind, and an ornament to the society of which you have this day become a member. To study more especially such of those liberal arts and sciences that may lie within the compass of your attainment, and without neglecting the ordinary duties of your station, to endeavour to make a daily advancement in Masonic knowledge. From the very commendable attention you appear to have given this charge, I am led to hope that you will duly appreciate the value of Freemasonry, and indelibly imprint on your heart the sacred dictates of truth, of honour, and of virtue.
The candidate now begins his new life as a brother. What will he be like?
Friendship is the greatest thing I have in Freemasonry. A feeling of well-being as you get along with brethren.
People treat you not because of your color or religion, but as an individual. When I first joined Freemasons, I couldn't say boo to this, but now with doing work in the boss room and things like that, and ritual, I could quite easily get up in front of people and speak and be quite confident about it, not be at all concerned, and it's made me a better person.
The secrecy surrounding Masonry has led to a number of myths. For example, some people still think Freemasonry is a religion. It isn't. Freemasons must believe in their own God and practice their own religion. But tonight there's a Hindu present, so 2 volumes of the sacred law, a Gita and a Bible, are laid out together.
There is no Masonic God, and as a practicing Christian, I happen to be an Anglican, but we cover all faiths, I find that my Freemasonry contemplates my Christianity, but can never replace it.
This room is larger, we can have general anaesthesia facilities in here, we can provide very high quality pain relief, of the kind that is possible now, but a bit difficult. And we'll be able to do it easily. Freemasons
have often been accused of looking out only for each other, but that's not the case. Freemasons raise large amounts of money for local charities.
So obviously we need to just modernise the whole apparatus and make it up to the modern standards of infection control, which will certainly aid treatment and may well save lives.
I'm absolutely delighted to be able to come this afternoon and present to you this cheque on behalf of the West Riding Freemasons towards the refurbishment of the dressings suite.
In Yorkshire, the burns unit at Pinderfields Hospital is receiving a cheque for £45,000.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the Regional Burns Unit and the Trust for this amazingly generous donation, which I know will help the people who come to the clinic and the people who work in it. So I'm grateful very much to the West Riding Freemasons. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Well, there are 3 grand principles, Jeff, to be a Freemason: friendship, charity and integrity. What we've seen today at Pinderfields is our charitable side at work, and we're delighted to give this £45,150 for this refurbishing the burn suite. And this is Freemasonry at work in the community. A lot of our critics say we only look after our own. I think this is, again, living proof that we do our bit towards helping whenever we can in charitable work.
Another popular myth about Freemasonry is that women are excluded. Untrue. Women play a major role.
It gives us